Welcome back to Coffee with Jenni and Dre.
What's going on?
Switching it up a little bit. But welcome, guys. Today, we got another fun podcast for you. We are on, what are we on? Season 2, episode 5. All right.
Correct.
We're moving along.
We are.
I like it. You want to talk about coffee first?
Yeah, do your thing.
I've been waiting for this one. I'm super excited about it. It's called a Fuga Coffee. They have a location in Austin, and then they just opened up a new one in Hutto. It's a Neapolitan espresso.
Okay.
It's organic. What I love about them, the owners are always there. I should have got their names, but they're super nice. Husband and wife, I believe. They're always there together. They're working it. I love all their little pastries they have. Like, they look homemade. I don't know if they are, but they look great. But what is really cool about this, there is no acid in their coffee at all. So anytime I talk about, oh, that coffee was bitter or whatever, they have none. So no acid in their coffee. It is roasted in California, is what she told me. But
sheesh, that was hot.
Oh, that's hot.
I'm gonna need some more sugar.
More sugar?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
You skimped on the sugar on your boy.
It is hot.
Yeah.
It is hot.
You need sugar?
Yeah. But it's very good. No acid.
Yeah, for sure.
The flavor's good. So this one has medium roast, chocolate fudge, praline, and toffee.
Okay. I like it.
Do you taste any of those things?
Let me try one more time after I got a little more sugar in there.
Chocolate fudge.
That first one.
What did I say?
Burnt up.
Praline and toffee.
Upper part of my mouth.
That really sucks when you get a burn because that'll last some days. Mm-hmm. You got the top or just your tongue? I hate my tongue being burnt.
Okay. Let me check it out now. Cool this mug off a little bit. Okay, there we go.
It's good.
It is.
I'm really excited about this place. So
I'm glad that you are.
A Fuga Coffee in Austin, Texas, and or Hutto, Texas.
Cool.
There's their newest location. Go check them out, guys. Really like them. Support them. They do a good job.
Cool. Okay. On this podcast, man, episode 5, it's more like a Q&A situation. We're taking questions and we're taking questions and we're taking dialogue from our listeners, from our subscribers and everybody that subscribes to like our email subscription. So we're just taking questions. These are not even, I didn't pick them. I didn't do anything. I'm just going off of like the list of questions that people have asked. I know that we people been going crazy on our Instagram and TikTok about.
I was going to try to maybe pull some of those up when we get to that one, but
well, it's the. Oh, okay. That's like the third. I don't know what order I'm going in. So, but people have been going crazy about the one thing about what is it? When we asked,
like,
when we had the kids on the
parenting.
podcast, we had the kids. It wasn't about gender. That's what the podcast.
No, that's
about.
what they're going crazy about.
But when we had the girls on the podcast, and what did we ask them?
You said, why does dad only have to ask once?
One time, and mom has
to ask 3 times before they get something done.
For sure. We'll address that later on when we get to all the, email questions. But the first one is, I think it's an important one, man, because when you have a blended family and you have a stepmom, stepdad situation, or however y'all call them, bonus mom, bonus dad situation, I think that this question gets asked a lot. And it's, how long do you need to date someone with kids before you can discipline the kids?
Okay.
So, I mean, this is more of a question. I mean, it's for me too, because I can answer, but it's also, I mean, you came into a blended family.
Yeah.
And
I feel like this is another one where we're going to get like people from one extreme to another.
I mean, how long should you date someone before you can discipline the kids? Or do people feel like a step parent shouldn't discipline the kids and only the real parent should?
I'll tell you like a few different perspectives. One from me coming in with you having children and then like what my role would look like and if I even felt comfortable doing that and how you made it feel comfortable. Then I want to talk about too, like as a child, when I had a stepdad, when he came in and what I saw there.
Okay.
So like with me and you personally, you had children when we met. And so I mean, not to like toot our own horns, but your kids were always they were very respectful all the time and still to this day very respectful. So I never had to deal with they've never been disrespectful to me or made me feel. But I also think the reason that is because you set the standard of how they were going to treat me. Like you would always reinforce like, Jenni is here, and Jenni, I can't remember like the words that we would use, but you always supported me in the fact of y'all have to listen to her. You know, she's here. She's just, going to be here. So y'all got to listen. I mean, that's basically what it was.
You got to figure it out.
And like I told you, there was only like one time where one of the little ones slammed the door. And he wasn't mad at me. He was mad at his sisters. But that's the only time I ever had to go in there and be like, hey. We're not going to slam the doors. And he never did it again. And he never talked back or, it was never a problem. But if anything, if they ever acted up, you would always get on them. And so you supported me. So I think that's why I never had to discipline. I never had to do it. And nor did which is I'm thankful for. I never wanted that. I didn't want that to be my role either.
For sure.
I don't want to have to do that. Now, as a child growing up, my brother, excuse me, he was a little, sorry, brother, but he was a little disrespectful to my stepdad. And so I remember watching it and seeing it, and it was a fine line because my brother felt like he had to be so loyal to my dad that he could not like my stepdad, basically. Even if he wanted to like him, he wasn't going to like him because... Again, my dad didn't reinforce like, hey, this is your stepdad, you're going to respect him. It wasn't that. My dad was agging it on, which then in turn made Brian feel like he could be disrespectful. And my stepdad was in a situation where he didn't know because again, it's not his son. So he was like, so spanking him or doing anything he didn't feel comfortable doing.
For sure.
So it was definitely like a battle. And then, with my mom, it's different. And this is what we can talk about later. When a dad reinforces the roles, I don't care. It just hits different than when a mom does.
For sure.
It doesn't matter how stern we are. It just, when a dad does it, it's different.
And on speaking on with the kids and like, I also feel like it all depends, right? If the woman you're coming in contact with has a son, and let's say the father isn't around like that. So mothers tend to make their young boys, and they tell their young boys, hey, you're the man of the house.
Right.
So whenever mom starts dating a dude, he thinks that he's the man of the house. So whenever the new dude comes around, his respect level isn't where it needs to be. So I think that I don't know what that timeline is, but I do think that in some cases, like if a girl had if you had a son and we was getting in a relationship and your son was being disrespectful to you, just as a man alone, it doesn't matter if it was day one or 8 months or 1 year, I'm going to let the young man know. Just because I'm a man and I'm trying to, any little young boy just standing around disrespecting his mom, I'll pull a son aside or a boy. Hey, listen, that's your mom, man. Stop being disrespectful. Like, treat her respectfully. You only get one mom. Like, I'm going to say that anyway.
They need to be told that. Yeah, maybe they've never been told that.
So I think that, like, moms, when single moms, when they have boys, they tell their boys, you're the man of the house, so it makes it different. But I do think when you're in a relationship with somebody that has kids, and let's say you had a son and y'all moved into my house, and because we've been dating for a while now, and y'all moving into my house, I got rules in my house and I got things that I do and how I run my house as a man. If your son comes in and these rules and things ain't met, I'm definitely going to address it to him. Just being you know what I'm saying? If he doesn't have his father in his life, I'm going to do it. But if the relationship is good between mom and dad,
that's where
and they're separated,
better.
If things are good, you have a great relationship, good co-parenting. I think then as a man, I would then call his father up and say, hey, listen, boss, your son's acting up. He's disrespecting his mom. He disrespected me around the house. I'm gonna let you handle that. accordingly, and then if you don't handle it accordingly, this is how I'm going to handle it, because you want to make sure that you give the father a chance to father.
And
you know
I think
what I'm saying?
in more times than not, when the two parents plus the step or the bonus parent are working together,
Yeah.
the kid is going to respond well,
Yeah,
generally.
for sure.
Or they should.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think all of that, I think all of that's good. And I think also, what is discipline, to some people, disciplining, are you talking about spanking? Are you ever allowed to spank the kids?
Okay, so the mother of my kids has a new husband, and all good and dandy. But my kids, all you got to do is call me. I'm saying, even though we don't have a relationship like that, but if they do get disrespectful, my kids don't really act out or get disrespectful, because they have a father and they have a mother that instills those things in them. So what I'm saying is, if it was where my son or my daughters got disrespectful with her new husband, he wouldn't have to do too much discipline. All he would really have to do is give me a call, and I'll address it, and I'm pretty sure it's nipped right then and there, because of my relationship with my kids and the authority that I come with. That I don't play no games like that. I don't play no disrespecting adults and none of that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think spanking in general is we don't
do no spanking anyway.
A controversial.
I don't do no spanking anyway.
Yeah, situation. But I've never been in that situation. But if my kids, if they had a step parent, and I found out the step parent spanked one of my kids,
yeah,
I think I would have. Definitely. But that's also because I don't ever have to do that.
For sure.
I guess if there were a situation where
I don't think no step parent should be spanking that if it's not their kid.
Yeah.
Put it this way. I wish a motherfucker would. I'm sorry. I wish somebody would, when my kids was younger and she dated somebody else, I wish I would have spanked my kids. I would have. Listen. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Like, I'm really.
So that's what we're talking.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay. But I don't play that part of it. Like, you're not gonna. Not saying that you can't talk to my kid and put him in the right place and teach him manly things because you are a man. But you ain't finna be. You can't spank my kids.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, how do you feel? Like, so do you think it's a timeline? Do you think it's like comfortability wise?
I think it's comfortability.
Yeah.
I don't think, okay, we've been together 6 months, so now I can say something.
For sure.
You can do that. I think it's exactly what you said. As long as it's handled in a good way for the child and things get fixed and the parents work together, I think that's how it should work.
For sure. And then also, it can't be no laughing moment. Like, say if I leave the house and I tell my kids, hey, Jenny's finna watch y'all need to be on behave just like I'm here type of thing. And that should be it. But I feel like the biological parent has to instill that into the kids around the step parent.
You always did that.
Yeah.
Every time you left, you would actually say that. And so like they knew they couldn't act up with me or else they would have to deal with you. And that's why they didn't. It wasn't because they were afraid of me, or
for sure.
I shouldn't even use the word afraid, but they knew what they could and couldn't get away with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean, because I feel like the biological ones, they get away. Like, I feel like when I'm in the house, everything seems to run smoother.
You mean at our house?
At our house.
Okay.
Everything runs smoother. But as soon as I leave, I feel like they tend to, you know what I'm saying?
Everything changes.
Everything does change. Not saying that, Dad's running a tight ship. They just know that I just don't tolerate a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, even from that comment of the one that we were going to talk about, like everyone's like, oh, mom's a pushover. Mom just lets them run over her. Mom isn't instilling boundaries. Yes, I do. And my kids respect me.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, when dad says something, when mom says something, dad's holds more weight, period. I don't care who you are or whatever. That is what it is.
Yeah.
And so they know, mom just said that, but let me keep doing this real quick. And then she's going to come back and say it again. I'm going to do it. That's just what it is. But they still respect me. They're very good kids. They never talk back to me or anything like that. Yeah. So I want to kind of like get that out there.
And the whole yelling thing. Listen, I'm not even I didn't even come from a. Go ahead, finish yours.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you walk out of the house, I told you I had a friend there one day. can't remember. Was it Jessica?
I don't know.
I don't remember who was there. From the moment you walked out of the house, like literally everything changed. Like they were in their rooms playing quietly. The dogs were laying down. Everybody was chill. Dad leaves, and it is like they're running through the house. They're in the refrigerator. They're getting snacks. The dogs are gone mad. They're running through the house. They're wrestling. I mean, like the baby goes from like, she's always at like a 6. So she goes from a 6 to a 9. The second you walk out of the house, it is wild.
Yeah. I mean, but
and then you come home, you're like, this is so easy. Or if you're ever doing it by yourself, this is so easy. I mean, they're so good with me. They're so
when
perfect.
I'm by myself, they just fucking flow. Like it is what it is.
Whatever. Well,
and so
they don't do that with me.
Okay.
So when you come home and I'm like,
that transitions us to the next question. It's called, I mean, what a listener was asking is like gentle parenting versus traditional parenting. Which one works better? And I've just, like I said, I think that this
is what everybody's arguing over.
Yes.
If y'all see it on TikTok or Instagram, I'm talking like some comments have like hundreds of comments after them where these people, y'all are just going back and forth about gentle parenting versus traditional parenting.
For sure.
And like one guy in particular, he's just saying, what he's saying is there's roles and the woman should be more nurturing and the dad is going to be more firm.
Discipline.
And that's what it is. It's not that he's yelling. It's that it's the bass in his voice or however you want to say it.
Quick definition of like traditional versus gentle. The concept of discipline undergoes a significant overhaul when shifting from traditional to gentle parenting, where traditional methods might rely on punishment to curb unwanted behavior. Gentle parenting seeks to understand the underlying needs or feelings driving the behavior.
So, like, I agree with both. I feel like if a kid is acting out, you need to understand why.
For sure.
Like, and have conversations with them.
Yeah.
What I do like is one of the girls that put us in a mention, the one that you were talking back and forth with, I'm not opposed to what she said. She was like, don't yell. She never wants you to yell at the kids or whatever, which is fine. But I do agree with when you go to them and you get in their face and you talk to them in their space, that does work.
For sure.
And so I do agree with that.
I think there's a need for both.
Yeah.
I just think that there's a need for traditional style and a
mix, a blend.
A mix of gentle, for sure. I mean, we don't do no spanking, but listen, I don't come from a yelling background parent. My parents didn't yell or nothing like that. Matter of fact, I don't think my dad raised his voice at us like that because it was already understood, and you know what I'm saying, we already knew what time it was when he spoke, and it was just that. And just as a kid being a boy, I would always do more mischief when my mom was watching me than when my dad was there. I just think that's just how it is. But yelling wise, people think that it's like like screaming at them like in their face and shit. That we don't do all that.
Yeah, and I don't even know.
I do take my voice up a notch. I mean, listen, man. If I'm sitting on the couch, I don't care what y'all talking, but I'm not getting up to go get in my daughter's face like, hey, listen. Why are you feeling this way? Why are you doing this? And I'm not doing that. Yo, come here. I'm screaming from where I'm. You think I'm finna get up from my comfortable seat watching basketball to walk? Nah, she gonna.
So that's why they're
gonna
say
me.
You're being a lazy parent.
No, I'm not.
I'm telling
this
you.
This is my house. I'm telling them. I'm gonna tell her to come here, and then when she does get to me, then I'm gonna have that gentle parenting conversation, because there's no need for me to do no yelling at that point. I'm telling her, let's get this blah blah blah. Let's get things going. I might, like when they're not cleaning the room up, I might bust in the room, not literally busting it like that, but I might run in the room. Hey, let's get this blah 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 blah. Talking loud, just make sure everything's aware. Everybody's hearing me. If I get in there and I'm talking all soft, hey, listen, I'm gonna need you to start cleaning up the room.
But that
doesn't get things rolling like that.
I can go in there and I can ask nicely. I can go in there and be stern. I can go in there and raise my voice. My kids are going to look at me. If I raise my voice at them, which again, I don't have to do very often, but if I do, they're going to kind of look at me and be like, okay, mom's serious. If you even remotely raise your voice, our kids are like, oh, and I'm like, why is it that he can just increase his tone this much and they have a conniption and I can go in there and probably scream at the top of my lungs and they're just going to look at me like, damn, what's wrong with her?
Facts. Facts.
What is wrong with her today?
And so you gentle parents, man, listen, do your thizzle. You traditional parents, I mean, whatever works for you, whatever gets the point across or whatever you're trying to address with your kid, I feel like that's on you. I'm going to give you an analogy. This is how I see it. I used to play sports, high school, college, basketball, all that good stuff. You got different type of players on the team. You got some players that react to coaches getting in their ass and yelling. Then you got some players that the coach needs to sit down and talk to them in that type of voice. Hey, listen, I know you can do better, man. Like, slide your feet, do this, that, and other. I'm not that player. If my coach don't yell at me, I don't really like respond like that. So if I'm in the game and my coach pulls me to the side and put his arms around me and be like, hey, you know, you need to start doing this, da-da-da-da-da. I'm gonna still hoop because I'm just good like that. But I'm the player that coach pull me out the game, sit me on the bench, and he getting in my, like, laying in me, like, pause. But like, boom, 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 going crazy. Like, you need to do better. Blah, 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 blah. I need him yelling at me, getting in it, doing all that. I need to see that passion. I need to see all that. That's me, though. I respond better off that.
Yeah, but
and
that's
I think
different
that's
when you're in
parenting.
the heat of a game versus in your room chilling and someone comes at you like that.
No, but I feel like that analogy works great. You can have that's a gentle parenting, just like you can have a gentle coaching, and then you can have the coach that does the traditional coaching where he's, you know, I'm not saying Bobby Knight throwing chairs in the damn doing all that, but I'm talking about like just,
peace.
you know what I'm saying, you know, I need my coach to really like get after me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've had that conversation with the kids actually with gymnastics and sports, and they think that if the coach yells at them, she's being mean.
Yeah.
And
I think that's
again,
girls.
I feel like we have to be careful with the word yell. Even like the coach Tony, she's not yelling at them, but if she's remotely
Not in her normal voice.
then they're like, oh, she was mean today. And I'm
Yeah.
like, baby, no, she's pushing you. Like, she knows you can do better.
Yeah.
Coaches aren't there to be your best friend.
Not at all.
They're going to push you to do better. They're not going to sweet talk you into being better.
For sure.
And so I'm in the process of dealing with that with the girls. Even there's a new coach who I really like her. She's young, has done really well in gymnastics. She's actually trying to be a UT cheerleader right now, or she's in high school still, but that's her goals. She's great. She's fabulous.
For sure.
But she has been coached and coached hard, and that's why she is good at what she does.
I got to be coached hard.
And
for
so
sure.
when Coach Tony was out, she took over, right? And the girls thought she was just going to be a breeze. And she was like, 20 seconds, go get some water. 10 seconds, countdown. They didn't come back, 20 burpees. Then they said, why? 10 more. And they were like, oh.
Yeah.
And, you know, but then immediately they were like, oh, she's not playing. Like, we have to do what she says when she says it.
For
Otherwise, we're going to be over here doing burpees for the rest of the day. So she caught their attention. And she's, what, like 16, 17 years old?
Yeah.
But she's been,
Coached hard.
Yeah.
Coached good.
Yeah.
What I like to say. And that's crazy that the next question is about sports. Somebody asked me, one of the listeners said, would you want to train and or / coach your kids in sports? And this is me personally. No. I don't want to coach or train my kids in sports. I just want to be a father. I don't want to be a coach and a father. I just want to be a damn father. And that's it. Because when you get to coaching it might work for some people, but sometimes you can push your kids too much. Sometimes you know what I'm saying? I don't want that type of relationship with my kids as far as on the sports tip.
Yeah.
I just want to be a father, man. I want them to be able to come home and you know what I'm saying? We get to the house and, you know, you're looking at me because I'm yelling at you in the game. So now our relationship is a little bit, you know, altered because I yell at you in the game and treat you just like all the other players and blah, 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 blah. So me personally, I just want to be a father. I don't want to be a coach. I don't want to be a father. I just want to be a father. But in the midst of that, since I did play sports, if you ask me something about this or how I feel that you can be better in something, I'm definitely going to give you my insight. But I don't want to be outside training you, taking you through drills and all that because I'm so hard. Like I will be
and
harder than I want.
More sensitive if you're going at them,
for sure,
than if a coach is going at them.
For sure, because even like the little stuff, when I'm telling my daughter with some horse stuff, she takes it way different than like when her Aunt Terry telling her. Like, it makes her feel way more, you know, at ease when Terry's telling than when I'm telling. And I can be telling her the exact same thing, you know, just in the voice that I have, than what Terry's telling her, and she takes it.
Because you tell her in traditional, and Terry tells her in
gently
gentle.
wise, and cool. That's why I know for sure I can't. I couldn't. I don't want to coach my kids. I don't want to train my kids. I will send them to a good coach. I'll send them, you know, like my boy, like my son, when Gerard was training, playing basketball, I send him to BT, or I send him to Adrian, or I send him to, you know, Sean at Ball Hard. Like, I send you to
we set them up for success with
I'm
good
going to
trainers.
send you to the right people.
That's
like,
what
people that I trust and that I know the game or know the sport that they're playing.
But it's real funny, like, when you sit back. So when I go to gymnastics with the girls and you sit back and you watch all the parents, like, all parents are just so hard on their kids when it comes to sports. They really are.
Yeah.
And here they are, and half of them are out of shape. You know what I mean? Like, probably couldn't get out there and do a cartwheel if they wanted to.
Yeah.
You know, but here they are. You're not doing it right. And I'm like, and even me, I mean, I've got onto them, but not for how they're doing it or how they're performing, because I feel like my kids do really well. But I mean, they're young. Like, how much are, you know, these aren't high schoolers out here. Like, they're 8, 9, you know, years old. Like, they don't even know how to control their bodies all the way yet. They're learning it. So there's that. But I mean, where I get frustrated is when their work ethic.
Yeah.
That's where I lose my patience. If they're out there and just like, oh, my head hurts, I don't want it, like, being whiny. I hate that. It really bothers me. But if they go out there and do 40 cartwheels and they all suck, but they just keep doing them, that's what I want. That's what I've tried to tell the girls. Like, I don't care if you fall off the beam 400 times. If you get it right once, then you're getting somewhere. Like, don't worry. And I try to tell them, like, practice is where you're supposed to mess up. Because they're like, I don't know. And I'm like, just keep working. If they keep working, then that's where I'm happy.
That's why I don't like watching all that stuff, because then I will end up being like, yo, you.
I know, it's hard.
So
that's what I mean.
It's
hard to like, and then in the car, I've showed him videos. I told you that, of the gymnast that was in the Olympics that broke her ankle and still had to go out there and do it and stuck it. Like, I had like tears in my eyes showing him that video. And then the other day, Corey was like, hey, Mom, I had a headache in gymnastics, but I was just thinking about that video. And if she could do it with a broken leg, I can do it with a headache.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
You sure can, boo-boo.
You can make it happen. So also, like, what type of parent are y'all as far as, like, you know, when y'all at your kids' sporting events? I don't want to sit by my wife at a sporting event. Like, if we're going to watch the kids, like, I don't want to sit by her. Like, I don't want to talk to her. Like, I don't even want to be around her. I just don't. I like sitting in peace. Like, because I'm not doing all that cheering and screaming. And but I don't do all that.
I don't do all the cheering and screaming.
But y'all parents, y'all other moms and stuff sit together.
But you're talking specifically about trying not to sit
I don't want to sit by
me.
you either. Period. I don't like it. And I like literally sitting on the other side, like the visitor side. I like just to watch the game. And then I can, you know, make a little eye contact with my son or daughter, let them know, doing this better, do that better. But I don't like, I don't like sitting by you or anybody. Like, I don't want to. I just like sitting by myself in peace and watching the game. Because also sitting by, I really wish I can just sit by myself. I hate sitting by parents and they're all screaming and going crazy and calling shit a travel when it's not a travel.
That's what frustrates you.
I hate that the most. People be like, oh, that's a flat. Oh, that's a foul. Oh, that's over. Y'all don't even know the game like that. That wasn't over the back. That wasn't travel. That wasn't double dribble.
You need
like,
to stop
chill.
listening to what everybody else says.
How? When I'm sitting next to these people.
Well,
so I got to go sit
expect
somewhere
it.
super quiet. In the like, I literally like to stand up most of the time anyway and just watch the game and not be around nobody.
Yeah.
So it just, y'all be making me sick with that shit. Y'all
You
just
do.
be-
You get more annoyed with the comments that are being made.
Y'all be going
But those
crazy.
comments aren't coming from me.
No. But you sit with the parents.
No, the ones that scream, they drive me crazy too.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on, folks. We got a quick commercial break brought to you by Open Door Parking, the premier valet company in Austin, Texas, y'all. They do hotels, they do hospitals, they do the best restaurants in town. If you just Google the best restaurants in town, I'm pretty sure Open Door Parking does their valet. This commercial is brought to you by Open Door Parking. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. All right, now we're back. We are back, and what is this? I'm gonna do one more question for you folks, then we're gonna get out here. Where is that question that I thought that I wanted to say? But y'all people with these questions are crazy. So this last question is, why do so many black men now date white women?
Oh God.
Yeah. So let's tackle that. I mean, it's a sensitive topic. Let's I mean, it is. I feel like it is a sensitive topic, especially like when you see like the NFL draft and they always show like the black family with the black athlete with the white girl sitting next to her and all those things like that. But let me get it clear, because it says, why do so many black men now date white women? I can't speak for all black men. I can only speak for myself. And let me get this shit clear. The first woman I ever loved and the second woman I ever loved was black. That's my mom and my sister. After that being said, people think that, me personally, I don't know what other black men, I've never been out seeking white women. Like, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'll never date a black woman. I'm only seeking white women. That ain't never how it been with me. I've dated all women of all nationalities, all races. So never been where I was like, oh shit, this is the only woman I seek. I don't like black women. My first girl I ever loved was black. Not my mom or sister, but girlfriend-wise was black. The next one after that was mixed. The next one after, with black and Mexican, and then had another Hispanic girl. Like, so it's never. I've dated all women of all different races, so it's never been where me personally was like, oh shit, when I go out tonight, I'm looking for a white girl. It never been like that, Playboy. So with this question, I only can answer and speak for myself. So when I did go out and I seen my wife for the first time, I wasn't thinking, oh, she's white, I definitely want to holler at her. Had nothing to do with that. But when I saw her and I spoke to her, my friend introduced me to her, we just hit it off. I just liked everything about her at that point. We went on a few dates. I started liking more things about her, and it had nothing to do with her skin color. It had everything to do with her personality and her heart and everything that was going on with that. So me personally, I really don't know why black men are now dating more white women. I just know me personally, I wasn't seeking white women, and it didn't matter at this point because we were in a relationship, and shit, I love this woman for everything that that she came with. So regardless of her color, I fell in love with her, and that's just how it goes. It doesn't go. Definitely there's black men out there that's probably just seeking white women, just like with all other people seeking a certain.
But I also feel like it's I don't know. To me, there's so much just between black men and white women, but this role is reversed a lot too. There's black women that date white men. There's black men that date Hispanic women.
But there is, if you look at the stats, there's more black men in America that date outside their race than any other race.
Yes, but not just with white women.
No, I'm saying
they're
said with
dating
any
outside
other,
their race,
any other.
with all races.
For sure. Yeah,
it's just, this is the hot topic, obviously. But, and we know, I get it, but it's just, I feel like there's a lot of maybe you don't see it or maybe they don't show it as much, but I know there's a lot of black couples out there. There are.
A bunch. Beautiful.
So, yeah, and it's black love and everyone talks about it and it's a great thing and we support it and I love it. So I can't answer this question. This
for
is
sure. And in this question also, like, I feel like there's a lot to unpack with it because they always say like, when a black man dates a white woman, well, she don't understand you. She can't understand your struggle. She don't know what you've been through. She don't understand this, that, and the other. And, some of that I get. Some of that I understand. And I'm saying, because I grew up with a black mother and a black father. So I do understand the dynamics and how that couple are strong together like that, how black couples are strong together and all that type of things. I totally get that. Never put nothing past that at all. But I fell in love with a white woman, and it's just how my story panned out. Like I said, I wasn't seeking it or seeking, you know what I'm saying? It could have been, I mean, you know, could have been any other race, but it's just how it goes sometimes. And I don't, in my case personally, I mean, because I love black women, you know, it's nothing like I have ever had, like, I think, what's his name? Terrell Owens was like, black women never thought he was attractive, so that's why he dated it. I was like, I never had that problem. And so black women find me attractive, women find me attractive, period. Not saying that I think that I'm the shit. But yeah, so what I'm saying is, yeah, man, I think that, you know, every case is different. I think that, of course, she might not understand my background and everything that a black man or a black woman has to go through. But I do know this for sure. We have kids together. They're biracial kids. When they go out into society, I think that my kids will be looked at not as biracial kids. I would hope they would be looked at as just humans, but we don't live in that type of world. They're going to be looked at as black kids. So I know that she does have something in her mind and her brain that she knows how things will be for them. And so she does get a little bit of that, what can I say, education about like what I go through because she has black sons or biracial sons, whatever y'all want to say. And she's going to know how that is with her daughters as well, because they're biracial as well, and what they got to go through and things like that. So, I mean, different cultures, different things like that. So I don't know why, quote unquote, black men now date, you know, more white women. I know from
like now, like
my
in 2024.
Well, I just think in general, like it's been I think it's been rolling for, you know, for
I feel
for
like
some
there's
years.
less now.
I don't know. And you know, like I don't have no qualms with, like, I don't have no problems with, like, you know, when some black men like, oh, well, black women always this, black women. Listen, I love you sisters to the heart of me. I love my black sister. I got a beautiful black sister named Hannah who just became a preacher. Whoop, whoop. And yeah, she just did her first sermon last Sunday. She's super dope. I mean, my mom is super dope. I got black nieces. They super dope. So I have nothing, like, never had where I think that, you know, black women are this way or that way, because I think that y'all are perfect. I think that y'all are perfect in the way that y'all are and everything. I just, like I said, fell in love with Jenni. Met her, personality fit my personality, things about her fit my, you know, things about me. And that's just how it goes. And I also think people, like the environment you grow up in, you know what I mean? I also think like where you grow up at, like just imagine, like if my dad was in the military and we were stationed in Korea, I feel like, you know, just being around a bunch of Korean people, I would probably date a Korean woman. Just, you know what I'm saying? If you grew up in the suburbs and you went to school and it's only a few black kids at your school and you with a bunch of, you know, white kids, I think that you'll probably date a white girl because it's just, that's just what you're around. If you grew up in Atlanta, I feel like you're going to, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, you know, if just the environment you're in and the, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that black dudes or any other dude is not out seeking a certain.
No, I think that there are definitely people out there that are like, I refuse to date outside of my race.
For sure.
Or, you know, whatever.
And I don't think nothing's wrong with that at all.
Yeah, no.
I don't think nothing's wrong with that at all.
I don't think there's anything wrong with anyone who wants to love whoever they want to love.
Yeah,
I mean, like that to me is what it's about. Like,
for sure.
What we have is great. I don't think it should be focused on I'm white and you're black ever.
Yeah.
I
but
mean,
that's not the reality of life, but
that's how we work. Like
that.
in our reality, we're not constantly focused on your color and my color. Mm-hmm. If the outside world wants to focus on that, I guess you can. But
for sure.
At the end of the day, I support you in everything that you do. Mm-hmm. I'm here for you, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And we support our kids how they need to be supported. Listen, I'm going to bat for them. If anybody at school calls them a name, like I am up there. Like there's
sure.
no. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm totally down for whatever needs to happen ever,
for sure.
Always. So, I mean, if that wasn't, you know, people focus on it. It is what it is. There's no changing it, but I mean, we knew that when we got married years and years ago, or when we started dating years and years ago. I mean, I will say that the hardest time we've ever had, even like in our marriage, was with the last president. And when all of the race stuff started coming out, and to me, it was damn near a race war is what it felt like it was going towards. That's when, like, I've never been more like scared, or I remember being at work when just, it was like at its height. Like, you know.
Wait, what? Scared?
Yes. Like,
how you gonna be scared when you got me?
No, like for you, that's when all the police brutality and
baby girl,
Black Lives Matter had to come out. Like when
not
all
even
of that was
part.
happening.
Yeah, we already know
like,
what
that
time it is with me.
So but it's not. You can't prevent it. If
I know,
someone wants to walk up,
we already know what type of time I'm on. Yeah.
I'm saying, like, we could have been walking down the street and someone didn't like the fact that we
but
were
you already
together.
know what type of time I'm on.
I know. I'm saying that was the only like year. It was. I feel like it was like a year long.
I'm the wrong one to try. I'm not saying I'm the toughest dude. I'm just the wrong one to try.
That's not what we're talking about.
I'm the wrong one to try.
Nobody cares about that. I'm just saying, like, sure. I just, other than that, probably couple of years, like, that's never been the forefront of our relationship ever.
For sure.
It's not something that's been, there, but it is reality and people focus on it and it is what it is.
Cool.
But go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got something else to say?
No.
Okay. And man, we're finna wrap this up with this final this is not a question. Like, it's more like one of those call-in situations. Y'all listen to this and let me know what y'all think. You don't think I should say that one?
Go ahead if that's what
it's not me. It's what the viewers said. What you want me to do?
Okay.
You don't like that one?
I think it's a little controversial.
Okay. Well, here it goes. I've been dating this chick for a few months and I really like her. But the last time we had sex, her lady area didn't smell so good. I paid it no mind. Maybe it was a one-off thing, but it smelled again last night. Should I tell her or shouldn't she smell that herself? Ugh. So, I'm a man. I'm just gonna, I don't know everything.
I think you need to be very careful.
So I'm gonna be very careful how I answer this, but I'm a man. And I think that pH balance is a thing. So it can be pH balances can be off. Or, like, I don't know if you've been cheating on her or not, but when you have sex with another woman and then have sex with your girl, that brings bacteria and that can smell as well. So, but I don't know.
It's not always her fault.
It's not always her fault.
There's like other things that can come into that situation. Yeah. But I do think that's a very sensitive subject, but I think you need to
Does he tell her?
I'm pretty sure she knows.
Oh. So y'all, whoa.
I mean, I don't know how you wouldn't know.
Y'all be smelling it and still be letting, that's crazy. That's wild.
I don't know. I am not a doctor, but what I would say is I know that I have a vagina, so like I know things about it, but like I do know that
it's a lot of things that can throw off the pH balance.
Yes, and it doesn't mean it's like an STD or anything.
No.
There's other things that can go wrong. In fact, one of the girls we follow on Instagram, she just got in trouble for this because what's her name?
I don't want to talk about names.
Okay, yeah. So she brought this up actually, and
the same thing.
Yeah, but what she was saying is, and she had to come back and say, okay, I was wrong. What she was saying is, if a girl smells down there, it's the man's fault, generally. Because what she was saying, and then she had to come back and say, okay, hold on. That's probably not the majority of the time, that's not the case.
Of course not.
She's like, if a woman doesn't feel safe in a space, it can bring out stress hormones and like a different smell if she's not super comfortable with who she's having sex with, is what she was saying, which I didn't know that either. So
the coochie picks up the vibe?
I guess everyone says like when you're stressed and you sweat from like stress sweat smells differently.
Oh.
Than than regular sweat.
Okay.
I am not a doctor. I'm just saying that was what was being discussed on there. But then she actually brought a doctor on and they had a full conversation about this exact subject, actually, about women who smell down there. And what
being a man, listen, man. One time, you know what I'm saying, you might be able to like look past it, smell past it. The second time you might like, yo, like what's going on down there situation. But I don't know if I feel like if you tell her, man, like, I don't know how long y'all been together, how honest you can be in that situation.
I think you have to be very careful how you say it.
For sure.
And not make her feel a certain type of way. I think you just have to be very careful. But obviously, if y'all are intimate, y'all need to be open and make sure everything's okay down there. The show that we were watching, where they have multiple wives.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that were bringing up pH. So they knew he was about to start sleeping with the second wife or whatever. But what the first wife said is they changed her diet. They made her get on the same diet as her. They made her pH. She had to like take strip tests or whatever to where their pHs were the same because they knew that if he started sleeping with her, it is going to throw off her pH.
For sure.
If he's going back and forth with them. And again, they were married. That's what they do. But like, and so it was like months that she had to prepare.
I think it was a month, 1 month.
I feel like it was longer than that. Anyways, to prepare to get her pH on the same path as the first wife's pH.
For sure.
Because that's the type of thing that can happen.
Yeah.
And so some of it, again, I'm with her. It's not always the girl's fault. If y'all are out there doing your thing with multiple women and then you're bringing that back, it's throwing her off. And then that's what it can be.
For sure. So.
And then I don't know what you do about it besides go to the doctor.
Should I tell her or should she smell
I think
that
you need
herself?
to have a conversation about it.
I think that's a tough conversation to have. Like, yo, listen.
You have to be careful. But I mean, if you're... okay. If you're sleeping around, I don't know that you have any place to say something to her. But like, if you're not... I'm going to stand on, I think she knows, and she'll probably go to the doctor.
Okay. Yeah, man. Y'all keep sending in these questions, man. We're gonna do these Q&As quite often. We're not gonna probably do a whole podcast on it, but we're gonna do a bunch of these Q&As just so we can address some of these things. Disclaimer.
Can y'all not send those questions?
Yeah. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policies or positions of this podcast. So
thank you.
Let me let y'all know, like, what we saying is just our opinion. These don't hold no stake in anything in life. So if you take it how you take it with a grain of salt. But we just out here giving our own opinions. And we just out here letting everybody understand this is how we feel. This is how we take things.
We're not doctors.
We're not doctors. We're not therapists. We're not sex educationists. We're none of that. We are just Jenni and Dre. We're about to wrap up. Tell me where this coffee is from, baby.
Afuga Coffee, Austin, Texas, and or Hutto.
Cool.
We love it. It's good.
Yeah, so we just want to thank all of y'all out there, man, for continuously supporting us. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We're everywhere, man. Just, log into our website, keep subscribing, keep sending us questions, man. We appreciate the support, and we thank y'all. This is episode 5 with Coffee and Jenni and Dre.
Peace.